Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here to talk about my comics for the week. This was a pretty light week as opposed to the last review I did where I had 10 comics and that lasted over 40 minutes. This one, there's only 4 comics and hopefully I can give a much shorter review. Alright, first up from Marvel, Annihilators. Part 3 of 4. Last of the Annihilators, they were now starting to confront the Wraith Queen who just appeared from Limbo to attack the Queen of Galador. And the Wraith Queen shows up. She uses her powers to bring back the Black Sun. So the Annihilators try to take care of her. But during the fight, though, she links her mind with the Silver. She uses her abilities to link minds with the Silver Surfer, and he sort of sees the plan that apparently Dr. Druid made a deal with her to free Wraith World from Limbo. And then after that they are able to take out the Wraith Queen. But once they do that, the Silver Surfer tells them that the Wraith Queen has been driven mad because of her psychic link between her world, which is in Limbo, and what's going on here, and that now the Black Sun is combining with the Yellow Sun, beginning to fuse with the Sun of the Galadorian system. And if that happens, then there'll be a big explosion and Galador will be destroyed. And their only solution, though, is to bring Wraith World out of Limbo. So the Annihilators have a plan to take the Wraith Queen, go to Limbo, and free the planet. While in prison, Galador prison, Dr. Druid escapes. So the Annihilators arrive at Wraith World. They encounter the Wraiths who've pretty much been damaged over their time in Limbo, and they've pretty much gone against their queen during this time, during her absence. But unfortunately, the Annihilators again have more trouble when Immortus, the time-traveling ruler of Limbo, who's also an alternate version of King the Conqueror, sends an army after them. Oh, and the conclusion to this story reveals that Dr. Druid and his sort of accomplices here are, spoiler alert, Skrulls. Yeah, Skrulls are back, trying to rebuild their empire. Okay, and I'm not really going to get into the Rocket Raccoon co-feature because I did not like that at all. So, back to the Annihilators. I was sort of starting to like what was going on at the beginning of the story, where the Surfer has his mind linked with the Wraith Queen, and he pretty much decides that they need to get Wraith World back into the real universe instead of leaving it trapped in Limbo. Otherwise, the Black Sun will remain. Otherwise, the Black Sun will combine with the White Sun of Galador and the Yellow Sun of Galador and just sort of explode and destroy the planet, which they can't allow. So that's the only solution, so be it. And it was a good part until we got to the end with the Skrulls. Suddenly when I saw the Skrulls, I was just like, oh god, this is just Secret Invasion all over again. That was just really bad. So this issue kind of decreased my faith in the whole series right now. And I hope that the ending, they are able to come up with a better ending with Skrulls, and it won't be bad and stuff. Moving right along. Again, this issue is cost-wise about $4.99. I would only say get it. At this point, if you haven't gotten it, just wait for the collected edition, because $4.99, it's a little cheap. Expensive. Expensive. Right now for Avengers Academy number 13, where after their battle with Korvac, the teachers of faculty of Avengers Academy has decided to hold a superhero prom for the kids of Avengers Academy as well as the Young Allies. Young Allies is another team of teen heroes from Marvel, but their series was canceled at issue 6. They did appear in the giant-size Avengers Academy issue. I did not get it because I saw the price and it was just way too expensive for me. Okay. Now, Reptile's still uncomfortable, and Reptile, he's still an adult after the battle with Korvac. He's still an adult, and Finesse sort of cites that while he claims he's staying in his body just so he can keep his full dinosaur powers, Finesse sort of cites it as some sort of psychological desire to be separate from the rest of the students. And also, Giant Man and Tiger sort of talk about Tiger's relationship with the Skrull Hank and how maybe they could work it out, and how they could probably get their relationship to work. Oh, and also, if you're a fan of New Warriors and stuff, this issue does take a look into the whole Justice Firestar relationship. And as far as things go for Metal and Hazmat, though, they do have to talk about how they sort of can't touch with each other and that they might be perfect for each other. So Hazmat asks him if he just wants to give it a shot. Meanwhile, again, Justice and Firestar talk about their relationship and how their engagement ended. Meanwhile, Stryker, he's pretty much being a little douchebag again, pretty much getting rejected by every girl of the dance, and also he pretty much believes that everyone in the world is working an angle, including their teachers and the Avengers, thinking that they just want to make them into good guys so they can pat themselves on the back. But Vale is able to calm them down, tell them that they've been through too much and stuff. And also at the end of the issue, though, when apparently Reptile and Spider-Girl had some sort of chemistry during the Giant Size issue or whatever, and while they're talking, she mentions that she does like him the way he was before, and during that moment, Reptile returns back to his teenage body. And the issue just sort of ends with a positive note, with everyone just having fun and stuff. And Reptile just realizes that he figures out now that he wanted to be a part of this. He really wanted to be a part of this team, and now he still feels like he is back to being a kid and stuff. So happy ending for all, I guess. Okay, I would just say skip this. I don't know. My opinion about this, it was a good issue, but if you are a fan of the original New Warriors, then you could get this just to read about what's the deal with Firestar and Justice. But if you really don't give a crap about how their relationships are, then just skip this issue, okay? If you're more interested to see them trying to avoid being supervillains and be heroes, then I would say skip this issue. Okay? Alright, now for DC. Adventure Comics 526. Chemical Kid, Gravity Kid, and Dragon Wing break into a university on Phylon, and they steal some of the remains of the original Chemical Kid, so that Glorith can perform a spell that can remove the genetic alterations or powers of the criminal they fought a few issues ago. And Glorith is successfully able to do that, and the villains they fought, the Taurus gang, is arrested. Of course, when Night Girl tells Cosmic Boy about this, he cites it as not that they showed some potential, and that it does kind of remind him of Garth when they started out. And so the kids have a feeling of accomplishment of how they succeeded and stuff. And there's also a second story here featuring the cousin of Bart Allen, XS, who's also the granddaughter of Barry Allen. And Night Girl shows up and asks XS if she wants to join Legion Academy. Of course, XS is a little ticked off because she was already a Legionnaire, but was on another world. So they want to take her into Legion Academy so she can understand how this Legion works. But XS just sort of rejects the offer. And while she's off looking for some stones for her little mosaic design she does, she picks up one, and all of a sudden she experiences history of like the Speed Force and time streams and everything. And she just gets right back to work. Okay, Adventure Comics. I am a Legion fan, but I'm just not really getting into this. I'm sorry, it's just I'm not really feeling it with this. It's just sort of displaced. That's what I feel with this. Not too excited about it. Okay, moving on. Superboy, number 7. Now then, Superboy wakes up and he goes outside and he notices that Smallville is completely destroyed. That's the present. In the past, Superboy and Psionic Lad go find a drifting spaceship near Earth, which they decide to investigate since the JLA and the Titans are busy. And this takes place after the reign of Doomsday, which is going on in Action Comics right now. So in case you're wondering about continuity, there's your explanation. While they're there, Psionic Lad senses 2 life forms in the spaceship. They go in. Meanwhile, in the so-called present, Superboy sees that Smallville's destroyed. He finds Lori Luthor is apparently the only survivor. But then all of a sudden he gets ambushed by the new Titans, which consist of Red Robin, Elastic Girl, Hawk Lad, and Negative Boy. Yeah. And apparently Superboy is the cause of all the destruction. So, and back in the past, Sonic Lad and Superboy Sonic Lad is able to determine where the life forms are, but when they go in there to the room, Sonic Lad says he still detects 2 life forms, but they only find 1 body. And meanwhile, Superboy's getting his butt kicked. And apparently Red Robin injected himself with a concoction that was a mixture of Bane's Venom formula and Our Man's Miracle drug that Bruce created right before Superboy apparently killed him. But during the fight, though, Connor's friend Alexander Valentine shows up sporting an armor that looks suspiciously like Lex Luthor's. It's a different color scheme. And while they're fighting though, Alex pretty much kills them all. No, it's Simon, sorry. I don't know why I said Alex. Oh yeah, because of Alex Luthor. Okay, anyway, Simon pretty much kills the new Titans, and Superboy grabs him and tells him what the hell is he doing, but Simon tells him that this was all his plan to take over the world, apparently. And Superboy's furious at this, and it's revealed, and back in the present we get good view of the plant, and looks suspicious, and looks very similar to the Black Mercy, which is a plant that, well, if you've read any issues of Green Lantern or Superman that involve Mongol, if you've read the Superman story that features the Black Mercy, you know that this plant attaches to a victim and pretty much gives them what they want in their wildest dreams. Superman, which was his life on Krypton, and when it affected Hal Jordan, it sort of showed him what life would be like if Hal's father, brother, and mother were still alive. Alright, which pretty much proves and while I was reading this, I immediately recognized what the plant was, so I figured this was all Vision. Then all of a sudden, Connor sees Ma Kent, and then Lex Luthor. And it's pretty much a conflict of emotions right there. It's the Ma Kent, though, that's just Psionic Lad trying to communicate with Superboy to try to fight the plant. But Lex Luthor is sort of the plant fighting back itself. And Sonic Lad's trying to encourage Connor to use his tactile telekinesis to get the plant off. And thankfully, he's able to do so. And they take the alien back to Steel Iron Works, and John Henry Irons takes a look at the alien and the plant. He tells Superboy that it's similar to the Black Mercy that Superman had encountered, but this one apparently shows you your worst nightmare instead of your wildest dreams. And while Steele's looking over the alien, he tells him that he also looked at the ship's guidance systems, and apparently it is a delivery system of alien plants and weapons, but it was delivering it, and it was headed for Earth, and it was specifically headed for Smallville. So yeah. Alright. I like this issue. I like the story where we got to see into. It was another story that's sort of a take on Superboy, which is what if Superboy had given into his Luthor half? What if he became, instead of being Connor Kent, he became Connor Luthor? Not so sure if he'd keep the Connor name, but I liked it. The story was good, though. However, my only complaint about this is the artwork, which is when Superboy's in the past and he sees the and he sees the New Titans with all this sort of etchy artwork and stuff. It looks kind of hard to see, and it's not very. It looks pretty much red the whole time, like the color red and just variant colors of red. That's all. Yeah, but I would say that this issue is still pretty good. And I'd say pick it up. Okay, that's all my comics. So again, Superboy number 7. Not a big fan of the artwork, but good story. Pick it up. Adventure Comics. If you're liking this, for whatever reason, pick it up. But this issue is not really new user friendly, and there's not really much to go on that XS story. Avengers Academy. If you don't care about their relationships at all, and you're just in it for the superhero action, skip it. Annihilators number 3. Hopefully adding scrolls to this story will not make it suck. And comic of the week, I would say, goes to Superboy number 7, because it's probably the only one of these comics that I actually liked. Alright, that's all I have to say about my comics for this week. Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.